Let's do it like this. All right, here we go. Can y'all hear us now? Can y'all hear us now?
Hey, testing one.
Here, testing. Yeah, right.
Can y'all hear us now?
Come on now.
Yeah, okay, we're good. All right, here we go. All right, Delilah, what's
Yes.
happening? Are you ready to go?
I'm excited. E3 was a lot of fun. I'm ready to talk, about these games, and I'm ready. I mean, I came away with a lot of excitement. I'm looking forward to November 7th. I got to see and play a lot of great games. Got to talk to a lot of developers. So it was a lot of fun for me. I think it's definitely one of. If I had to rate my E3 experiences, this is definitely one up there. So it was fun. But let's go. I'm ready.
They can't hear us.
They can't hear us. They cannot hear us. Huh? What the hell?
That OBS, bro. OBS is trash.
Which one are you on? You on here like twice.
Yeah, because I hit the other one just to make sure. So let's see. All
right. So this is like everybody. All right. So this is the problem.
Mm-hmm.
Everybody's in this first one, but I can hear you in the second one.
Right, and I don't know why the other one is not working.
Should have just did the Google Hangouts instead of the OBS thing.
Well, I'm doing the Google Hangouts, so I'm doing them both. That's why I'm tripping. Like, hold on. Let's see this. Can they hear you now? Can we hear
us now?
Hear it.
Okay, so that's what it is. Everybody can hear you on the OBS.
They can hear me,
but they can't hear. But on the other stream, that's where they can hear.
All right. Well, if y'all can move on to the other stream, go on to the other stream. I'll have this rolling, and we'll just do it that way. I don't know why the hell this ain't. Why the hell? I know 100. Can't get right.
I had to turn that shit off, man. I was hearing you twice. The shit was irritating me.
Oh no! If you hear me twice, it sounds delicious.
Hell no!
Yeah, it sounds delicious. Anyway, so go ahead. If you're listening, you just tuned in. Check it out. We're over here with the Google Hangouts. You can't see the screen, so if you want to go back and look at the gameplay or whatever I'm streaming over there, you can come back and check it out later. But you can go to the Google Hangouts and you can hear us all there because that's going live as well. So anyway, we got Delilah. So go ahead, Fonzarelli. What's up with you, bro?
Oh, they're moving over.
Okay, all right.
Moving over to.
Okay, well, still, Fonzarelli need to say something.
Yeah.
You know what happened though? So do we gotta change Hangouts?
No,
nah,
it's going. It's going. Yeah,
because Fonz just dropped out, so I don't know what happened.
I don't know what Fonz just did.
Fonz just said
he must be having issues.
Yeah, he must be.
I'm getting attacked already. Early.
Already.
Maybe he is. All right, go.
Donald Trump. Donald Trump. What's happening, bro?
Okay, it's your boy Livewire. It was an eventful week. I had a good time, and I'm glad to be on GRG to talk my shit, man.
Yeah.
As usual.
Well, hey, when I'm in here, it's gonna be
all day. He's eating a smorgasbord of crab legs.
Oh no, he wasn't in here.
Chicken wings and grits, and I even heard that he had some chitlins on that plate as well. So, however he's gonna sound is how he's gonna sound. And Don was out at E3, and I heard that it was a complete fail because he was trying to not only solicit his game, but he was trying to give all the people that was looking at his game, he was trying to give them some of that buffalo titty milk, and it just didn't go well. So let's get this party started, man. Yeah.
Oh, man, him and that buffalo titty milk.
Man,
that shit must be popping out there.
Popping. Don loves to do that. Anyway.
It's all messed up. You can't hear nothing over there but
nothing. You can't hear
yeah. Nah, everybody's starting to move over here. That's all right.
Everybody's coming over here. So I don't know what the hell's the problem because it's showing that it's working.
Yeah, I don't know.
I don't know either. Hold on, let me turn this up too, just to see. Shit, let's turn it all up. See if that works. Anyway, so you'll get over there and you'll see it, you'll hear it, whatever. Let's keep going. All right. So now E3, it has gone. It is passed. The gaming mecca has begun. And so we're going to go to somebody that has been there and that was live. So Delilah, what was your feelings about E3? And just give us a little tidbit.
Wow. E3 was great. I mean, it was awesome. I mean, I always have a great time when I go out there. I mean, it was good to just kind of check out some of the games, play things that aren't out yet, and to talk to the developers. I was fortunate enough to be able to attend FanFest and attend the press conference, all that good stuff. So I got a lot of insight on exactly like how some of the things went and how some of the setup went for FanFest. It was nice, very very fun. Got to meet a lot of people in the Xbox community. I'm still going through my phone, posting pictures and whatnot. So if you want to follow me on Twitter, you can, and kind of see some of the things that I posted up already. Ran into a couple people that's big in the industry. Got to, meet Ken Lobb, meet some guys from Bungie, and just all that kind of thing. I mean, it's just, everybody's everywhere. So when you run into them, you just kind of get pictures when you can, and you just ask questions about like their development experiences and things like that. But I definitely recommend everybody going eventually, especially now that it's open to the public. But we can talk about that part later, I guess.
Yeah, we can talk about that later. So All Day was another person that went out there. So was Lady Infamous, but of course Lady Infamous couldn't make it, and then All Day, he said he'll be on here a little bit later. So I'm just going to go to our guest. Man, what did you think and feel about E3?
The overall show, or just Microsoft in particular?
Yeah, just.
Oh, you asking me, Delilah? Like, are you asking everybody?
No. I was asking Hebot.
Go ahead.
I said our guest. Yeah. So.
I mean, I think E3 was of a different, of a different nature. Obviously, this year. Well, obviously, I wasn't there, but I was looking at it through, to Mixer and whatnot, and IGN through YouTube or Jeff Keighley or what have you. I like the fact that it was just different. It had a lot of diversity. As far as different games from more independent style developers, more AAA titles that were more of a smaller scale, but still have a AAA quality and feel. Microsoft, like I said a couple of times already in other podcasts, of course, was very concise in their showing and straight to the point. I thought it was very aggressive. Which was really good because they kind of did that last year. It just they had more to show this year. For some people, it felt like it was going too fast. You couldn't really soak it all in, and then some people felt that maybe they spent too much time on the multi-plat games that they had marketing deals with. But again, if we all know, it's part of the business. You can't do business without having to honor that side of the business deal. So I'm pretty sure that was part of the deal that they, let them showcase their games that were going to be in the 4K, resolution on the new box that they presented, at the highest quality, which I think that was their goal. And I think their goal was, very well thought out and presented. The presentation, the quality was phenomenal. They had an LED screen up there that was 4K resolution. I don't know what it was, what type of hertz or frames per second you were able to view each of the games, but I'm assuming it random based on the actual real life counterpart. I really like that they pretty much showed that they didn't need the marketing deals in order to prove that their games were going to be better and outshine the competitors' consoles with the X, obviously. And the fact that they showed that we're still the first that started. Because if you notice when Phil talked, he said, we were the first to get these developers when they showed Metro, that it was an exclusive until, just this generation on 360. And, we were first to really back these guys up. We were the first to start the indie movement with the indie developers, and they started showing all these great games like they have now with, Cuphead finally coming out, with Ashen, which looks phenomenal. The Artful Escape, The Last Night, which is incredible. It was all in sprites with 3D graphics in the background, with beautiful lighting. The music and the ambiance was phenomenal. It had a very Blade Runner and and Fifth Element feel. And I know it's a mouthful. Forgive me. What was the other one I was looking at that really looked really good? Oh, the fact that we got another platformer that looks really solid in Super Lucky Tales. The OG Xbox announcement. Me personally, I own 90 physical games. I still own the original OG. I own 12 platforms to begin, consoles, and on top of that to begin with. But I have a lot of physical stuff. So now it'd be nice to be able to pop them in just like we do with the 360. So I think their goal was to try to get all the casuals in. It was more like a casual driven type style keynote. It felt kind of a mixture of Microsoft's quality with Sony's outings from 2003 to 2015, 16, when they started to change the narrative and stuff like that and say, oh yeah, we got AAAs, but they never came out until later on, as opposed to Microsoft having everything right from the beginning and had to restructure because of all the baby crying and complaining within the industry and the followers and the fanboys and stuff like that. But besides that, I think they got the point across. I think it was a great show. I think it was really solid. A lot of people may not agree, but I think the diversity meant a lot for them, and that's what they wanted to do, and they proved it. They showed it, and they dealt their hands. Now, as far as the AAAs, yeah, it sucks that we have less AAAs this year, but I'm pretty sure by Gamescom, Tokyo, and this time next year in E3, I think we're going to be surprised with a lot of good AAAs.
Yeah, I definitely agree with that. Somebody got their sound up. Who was that? Because I could hear me in the background. Anyway, Fonzarelli, are you back?
Yep, I'm here.
Okay, all right. What did you think about E3? What was your overall thoughts on it?
Initially, I was very let down by both Sony and Microsoft. I just didn't feel that they showed me personally enough to get excited for. However, after taking some time to digest everything, days passed. I got everything off my chest that I wanted to get out that I was really upset with. I'm good with everything right now. There is some games that I'm looking forward to. We have, Microsoft's got a bunch of games out there that I am willing to try and play. Ashen for one. You had Code Vein, looked interesting. Forza Motorsport, I'm not a big fan of the Motorsport series. I like Horizon. But I may get that just because of how beautiful it looks. That game looks amazing. It looks gorgeous. If it's truly that good looking, man, that's a day one buy. You got to get it, right?
You had to see it in person, I swear.
Yeah.
I was in the audience, because I was really close to the stage. I posted mine where I was actually sitting, and I had a straight beeline to the 4K screen, and it was just phenomenal. You could hear people like gasp when they first saw Metro and things like that. It's like, oh, everybody was like, oh my god, wow. And, they mute all that for TV, so you can't hear people's true reactions sometimes on TV. It's amazing. It was amazing. Just the sheer crowd reaction to that was just phenomenal. I think Microsoft did a good job with that part.
I thought the pacing of the show, of Microsoft's show, was really well done. I give them credit for that. They showed games. They showed 40 something games, which was nice, but they weren't necessarily games that I want to play. And I was let down that most of them were kind of just PC port indies and multiplats. But the real show stealer was, of course, Anthem. The way it looked. You cannot look, guys. All the people out there saying, "Oh, it's using checkerboard, dynamic 4K, all this stuff on these games." Guys, first of all, this is a third-party developer. Second, there is things going on in that game that we have not seen on any other console. I'm sorry, graphically, that is the most impressive game I've seen.
On a draw distance, that and Metro had an amazing draw distance too.
Well, Metro, I heard was running on a PC at the show. Yeah. However, honestly, I don't even care. If it looks close to that, I'll be happy.
The developers, I think, hinted that they got it running like that also on Xbox. They just
I'm not even mad at that. My thing is at E3, we usually see stuff sometimes that get downgraded or whatnot. That happens, okay? On everybody's show stage, it doesn't matter. But when I grade these shows, I look at everything on face value, what they're showing me right there, and Anthem stole the show for Microsoft. Stole the show. However, ending on a multiplat was not a good look. That was not a good look for Microsoft. You always should end strong with an exclusive, at least an exclusive.
You got to think about it. In history's past, they've ended on. Well, I guess you're right. You're right on that. I'll let that be that. I mean, because now Titanfall, they ended on Titanfall like a couple years ago, but
That's what
at that time, Titanfall 1 was
I
But I
think
gotta-
so.
I'll be real. Sony didn't do much better for me. Sure, they showed me games I'm more excited about, but it was last year's show essentially.
right.
So I couldn't get that excited. I mean, I was watching with Dealer and All Day and some guys on Xbox Party, and I was telling them, yeah, I'm hyped for this game, but it's the same show. Like, seriously, show me something new. And
Yeah,
that's the problem I had with E3.
a lot of movie magic.
That's what I had a lot of problem with E3 this year. But that all said,
I feel like E3 this year was more like it felt like a transition year because they just released their PS4 Pro, Xbox is announcing their console. So I'm thinking like 2018, which I hate to say that. I said I wouldn't say that, like, oh, now we gotta wait to 2018. But I mean, Sony announced a lot of titles that's coming in 2018, and Microsoft has got they're muffled. They're not announcing anything too early anymore. They're pretty much they've learned their lesson from that with the games that they had to cancel. So I think they're just playing it really, really close to the vest. But I've had talk with some of these people while out there, and they are investing in first party, and that's to me is great because Microsoft has a huge war chest of IPs, and it's always reassuring for me to know that they're definitely investing and that they got full approval from the top to invest in first party. So we just have to do a wait and see. Like, it takes years to make games, though, like 2 and 3 years to make great games. So.
Yeah, so I totally agree on some of those points. I mean, I'll give you my projections here in a little bit. Let's go to you, Donald Trump. What did you think about it?
The Microsoft show, I liked it, man.
No, just overall E3.
E3 in general.
Yeah.
I think overall it's pretty solid. EA's conference was aight. Because I did like the getaway or get out or whatever it was called, that prison game.
Yeah, get it. Yeah.
And Need for Speed looked okay. What was the other game? There's some other game that they had too.
Code Vein looks dope to me. I enjoyed it.
Okay. Yeah. So I mean, yeah, EA had a few things. I didn't watch Ubisoft shit. Only thing I saw from that was the rabbits, and then I had to turn it off because I was watching something else. I think it was rabbits and some other game that they had.
Thank you, Banished. It was a Way Out. That was the prison game.
Oh, Banished.
Yeah, Way Out. Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, Way Out. That's right.
Yeah.
Then Bethesda, Dishonored looks. Now, is that standalone or is that like, what is that?
What?
Is that
Dishonored?
DLC? Yeah, that's DLC or standalone?
That's DLC.
Oh,
That's a
okay.
deal.
Mm-hmm.
Well, either way, it looked cool. But the games I liked the most were Anthem. Obviously, that game was amazing. Metro, amazing. Last night, that shit caught me off guard. I wasn't expecting to like some shit like that. No lie. I'm looking at this. I'm like, why am I infatuated with this 8-bit game?
Well,
This game is 8-bit, but this shit looks hard body.
It's style. It's very.
Yo, that shit was like one of the best games I've seen at E3 period. And then you had
Ori and the Will of the Wisp.
Ori, or obviously, but I always knew Ori was gonna look good. Those guys are amazing, you know. They do great work.
Yeah.
But the shit that had me rock, like, yo, did y'all see Sea of Thieves, yo? Yo, that shit is great. Yo, mind you, I saw Sea of Thieves. So you see the like goofy trailer, right?
Right.
And then like was it 2 days? It was like Tuesday or Wednesday, the alpha open. And they're like, oh, come in and play. So you're playing people at E3. Yo, that shit is bananas. Yo,
it make you realize that they're not really showing everything in alpha. Like, it's just like, whoa, because it looked different from alpha. It looked very different from alpha. So,
yeah, well, yeah. Yo, Delilah. Like, yo, it was almost like the doggone demo. Like, I jump in, like, they start me off, and somehow I ended up in the water. You know me. I fucked around and did some dumb shit, fell off the boat. So,
Oh man.
So I'm in the water, goddamn running in front of a goddamn shark, because I don't know where the hell the damn shark came from, but he was chasing my ass. I had to kill his ass. Took a while. He done damn near murdered me.
yeah.
Then I finally find a mermaid, get on the boat. then
It's like every time they show it, to not to interrupt you, but to add to what you're saying, like it seems like every time they show it, it just shows better and better.
but the shit that I thought was dope is like, all right, you play the regular alpha, all you do is play like the damn like previously it was just like you do a map and they give you multiple maps and so but now they have some Goonies level shit. Like they was like, all right, this is a treasure. You have this riddle. You have to solve this. We was in there trying to figure this shit out for like an hour. Like, yo, where the fuck is this shit, man? We digging all over this goddamn island. And dude was like, yo, I don't think we reading this shit right. Then like 20 minutes in, we be like, oh shit, we done fucked up. But yeah, that shit is hot. Then we finally get the treasure. Then motherfuckers try to steal that shit. Because if you do a riddle, that shit's legendary.
Yeah.
As far as I know, I think all riddles are legendary treasures. So somebody's trying to take your shit, and that's bank right there. And I didn't, the crazy thing is, I didn't know that they've been tallying up all the money that we've been making. Because I got like $9,000 up in there. So I was like, oh shit, they tallying this shit up. The dude I was riding with from, I don't know, he's some dude I just met on there. He had like $20,000. I was like, oh shit, you done played the shit out of this game. I only played it like 3 times. But yeah, I'm telling you, man, that Sea of Thieves, man, when you get on that water and that bitch is rocking during the storm, yo. But when our boat went down, when it got hit by lightning, I was like, what the fuck? Yo, that shit had me tripping. I'm like, yo, how the fuck we get knocked out? It's like, yo, I think we got hit by lightning. We sinking. I'm like, oh shit.
So now, so basically, Sea of Thieves is a day one purchase for you.
Hell yeah, that shit is fire.
I'm picking it up too. I mean, I'm not going to see what they're like.
Cool. As for me, was there any other games? Because I mean, you was.
Oh man, Dragon Ball Z looks. I like the way
Dragon Ball Z. Yeah.
The way it played, just the sheer frame rate.
That's why
it looked. It was just.
The OBS ain't working because I was showing all this.
It's going to look interesting, even though a lot of people may not, resonate with it, but comparable to the originals that were available, it's a very big, drastic leap. It looks like it's going to be more of a hack and slash on top of the monster.
Are you talking about Monster Hunter?
Yeah, the monster.
Okay, yeah, I haven't really got a chance to take.
All right. Now you can't lose your status. Now you can't be talking about good. Can't talk good about PlayStation. I'm just.
Wait, that's a multiplayer. You do.
I can't do that.
I don't care about.
I'm gonna kick K-Meg off the show, man.
Okay. Just because you do 2 episodes, you over here trying to come on now, calm that shit down. Anyway, okay, but no.
It's coming to Xbox. Okay, it's coming to Xbox.
Yeah, I know. As for me, like, okay, for this E3, that's okay. Next year, I'm coming to E3 for sure. I showed all day the picture of what I'm going to look like when I step on the floor because I'm gonna have my money right. And that's right. Everybody's seen it. I'm coming in there, you know what I'm saying, with nothing but a fur coat and some nice slacks and shoes, no shirt, just coming straight in. I cannot wait. And I'm going to be asking for the biggest and best person that I can ask for an interview, and let's go. Anyway, I sat down and I just watched everything. I absorbed everything. I took off for 4 days, and I just watched and absorbed everything. I watched the PC conference, the Ubisoft. I watched every conference, Nintendo's. I watched every conference, and I sat there and I just watched interviews. I watched just them talking about the games, watched the developers talk about them and stuff. And I was very, very pleased about the games. And then the one thing that happened, I opened up Twitter, I opened up Facebook, I opened up social media, and it was just a bloodbath of just bullshit. We'll talk about that here in a hot minute. But as for me, DBZ is definitely in my top 3. Man, what that game looks like is absolutely incredible. I want it now. I mean, and that game is not nowhere near to be fixed. I don't think that game is coming out until next year? Jesus.
Something like
that game looks fantastic.
Yeah, that is the Marvel vs. Capcom killer.
And you know what? I played Marvel vs. Capcom. I played Marvel vs. Capcom, the story mode, and the controls were fluid. It felt really good.
Very well.
but the look and everything, I just don't like the design. The character so far doesn't wow me. Yeah, this DBZ, if you know what I'm saying, if it definitely has that opportunity to kick Marvel vs. Capcom Infinite out the water, is if you know they don't do it, because the game is not complete yet. So I mean, hopefully Capcom can get their shit together with it. But another game, of course, everybody said Metro. That big rat, that mole, and all just the design, man, just looked absolutely beautiful. Forza, what can you say about Turn 10? They just know what they're doing. They have surpassed everybody who makes cars. Period. Any car company, anybody that makes cars and video games, you need to go and look what Turn 10's doing and follow that pattern. Because now, after seeing what GT has got to offer, it's nothing. Nothing can stop Forza now.
Were you guys, speaking of cars, were you guys impressed with Need for Speed at all? Payback.
I was just gonna say
I got to play that. It was pretty good. I mean, I played the same demo they showed in the conference or whatever. It was really, really good. I mean, it has the same like burnout takedown system that you use to take down other cars, and then like so. But the sense of speed and the scale, they nailed that. It feels really, really tight, and so I'm looking forward to seeing what else they do with that game, and if they release more content and stuff. I do like the fact that you play through different characters, because I was playing through 3 different characters, and so you kind of just jump between the 3 of them during different missions and stuff like that. So it's pretty dope.
It looks another game that impressed me that it was not on my radar. It was on everybody else's radar, but I was like, you know what? I'm not caring because Sony made that game. But that damn Spider-Man, I'm like, I got to get that day one. Whenever that bitch drops, I got to have it. That Spider-Man, that game.
That's what Marvel money does to you, but the combat system is nothing new.
Well, yeah, no, the combat system wasn't nothing new, but it was just
the combat fun. Out of like Arkham Origins and stuff.
Yeah. But it was fun.
Yeah, that's a good combat system. I like that.
If you ever played Amazing Spider-Man, I did a video on it. It's really, really robust and really well done. It was very, very good. It's probably one of the best that I've ever played. And
I played a bunch of the Spider-Man's games. I played it.
This one feels a little slower, but I think it's deliberate because of the cinematic. They're trying to make it more cinematic.
Right. But it looked really good. I wasn't expecting what I seen. It was very fun, very fun to look at. Also, another game that Sony had that caught my interest was Days Gone. Now, this is the thing. Damn it, I wish the OBS was working, because I wanted to show Days Gone and I wanted to show State of Decay back to back. And State of Decay, like with movements and things like that, looked generic in certain spots, especially how they ran the animation.
State of Decay and Days Gone are 2 very different games.
Exactly.
One is more like an actual RPG, which is State of Decay is an actual RPG, whereas Days Gone is more of an adventure kind of action game.
Technically,
very different.
Very technical. Has a lot more technicalities in it.
Yeah, it does.
Right. Well, if you die, you're done. So that.
Yeah, that's right. Permadeath.
State of Decay. Yeah, that's what I was gonna say. The nod definitely goes to State of Decay, because you have a much more attachment to that character that you make, and you know, if you build that character up and you keep playing that game with friends, you have a camaraderie that is just unmatched, and that is what's really special about State of Decay being having 4 co-op players. And I guess the way that they were showing, like, you could have 4-player co-op, but then you could make compounds where you have other players and y'all could, you know, help protect it. That was dope. But what I seen from Days Gone was impressive. I thought it was cool.
But they're very, 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 very different games. Like, you're talking about Days Gone, that's like The Last of Us.
It kind of feels like they're trying
Zombie Edition.
Trying to make it to like Tomb Raider meets Dead Rising.
Here's what it is.
Yeah, you know what? I think you're right. You're more like a Tomb Raider.
No.
Tomb Raider version.
It looks like Uncharted meets Walking Dead. That's what they.
It has
no,
not Walking Dead. Daisy.
Daisy, the movie.
But here's the problem that I can see with this game. There was a lot of quick time events there. There was like a lot of that I didn't care to see.
Oh, you talking about Days Gone?
Yeah, I want to see more gameplay, actual gameplay, because it showed more cinematic stuff than anything else.
That's where PlayStation is going, though.
But here's
That's what they want to do.
Yeah, that's their vision.
If it's got a good story, I'm down with it. But the fact is, we don't know yet. I'm glad that it shows that there is some sort of story there. Because remember, a few weeks ago, I was saying on the show that I was just not feeling the game because I didn't know if there was a story. I didn't know if it was going to be a Dead Rising. Mm-hmm. But here it looks like it's going to have a story. So it's promising. But I'm still not excited yet. But I will tell you one game I was really excited for, and that was God of War. I wasn't excited. I was on the fence.
It looked so good, but I'm still on the fence.
It's still the same formula. It's against QTEs with that Rise type of feel and a little bit.
I was watching
a sprinkle of Last of Us. I'm sorry.
But I was watching that game though. I was, like I said, I was watching with a bunch of guys on Party Chat, but I took my headphones off so I can pay attention, like just feel that game, because that game I'm on the fence about. So I'm watching this, and as it goes on, he's talking to his son and things are going on, and I'm already getting immersed in the damn story and what they're showing, and I'm like, okay, this is pulling me in. And then when the combat hit, I was like, okay, I've got to play this game.
Nah, so the combat saved it, because him talking to his son and shit to me,
I liked it.
It turned me completely off. It turned me off.
It turned me off.
It takes away from Kratos. I'm not digging this.
Hey, I don't know if you agree with me,
Kratos.
It takes away from the charm, because his whole fact that he has that ash look on him is because of the sentimental value of his wife and his daughter on his body.
Right.
It's like he's starting all over with a new family. Yeah. But then again, so what's the point of him having rage? You see, the whole point was rage.
Yeah, like you got your kid now. So if this game is not a complete reboot, and it's got and they have like any tie-ins to the Zeus saga, you know what I'm saying? Because I know that this is a whole different different gods that he's going to tend with. So I would just rather it be a reboot, and just like that whole situation with Kratos was gone.
No,
maybe it's his new family. Maybe his first family died, and then he remarried.
I know, but I don't like this. I don't like this. Look, I'm nervous about that game, because to me, they did show the combat and it looked dope when they showed that big Leviathan thing at the end. I'm like, okay, now that's God of War. That's what I'm talking about.
I was worried, but not anymore. I think this game is going to be.
Well, I am. I'm still on the fence, because I don't want every game to be so story driven that it takes away from the combat and the fun factor of a game. You know what I'm saying? That's what I'm nervous about. God of War is mindless fun. You know what I'm saying? You know, and it had deep enough story for me to be engaged in, where Zeus or whoever would talk, and I'm like, I'm gonna fuck Zeus up. I'm about to have some sex with some women, and I'm about to go kill somebody. I like that. I like my Game of Thrones, and that's what I want God of War to be.
Yeah, and I can respect your thoughts there. But I will say that though, Mega, you hit it on the head. You said that you like that mindless fun from God of War. As I've gotten older, I tend to like the stories that are more compelling to me. I tend to like to get into stories that I can really sink my teeth into. And honestly, some of these games that are just mindless fun are just not fun to me anymore.
Okay.
A gameplay element. If it has
I could play God of War 3 and just be just as engaged as I was when I beat it the first time. Like, this shit is crack. I love it. But everybody has an acquired taste, so that's fine. Anyway,
we all go through waves.
Yeah, we all go through
waves. I was all about story driven. Now
they said, how do you guys feel about the combat being on the left trigger and the right trigger?
That's what I'm saying. That is making me feel like this game is going to be, yes, you'll have combat, but it won't be as combat driven, because they want to have that story narrative, and that makes it dangerous. Look, you got The Last of Us, you got Days Gone, you got Detroit, you got all these other games.
I don't think you're gonna be fighting waves of enemies like before. I think you'll probably fight fewer enemies, but they'll just be more challenging to beat, probably. It just take more hits to take down. So that's how
they seem to be going into this direction of. You can see with the start of the success of Bloodborne, and you look at it from a standpoint of where they're trying to, and the success of Last of Us, and they want every game to go that direction. And I'm not liking that. Like, every other game has to have some kind of different
all have
identity.
like a similar feel to them. They all kind of look similar.
They do.
That's what my arguments have been for the last couple of days. But
Yeah.
people
So,
call me
but if his son dies, or if Kratos dies and his son takes over and becomes enraged, then you're talking. Now I'm saying, okay, now we're getting somewhere. But there has to be some kind of tragedy, because if this is just he's teaching him and guiding him and going and you know, there's a point to where he's kidnapped or something, his son's kidnapped or something, and then he saves him and shit like that, and this is the gentler, kinder Kratos, then the series is flawed completely. I just that's my opinion.
What if they are trying to go for the Last of Us, Phil, and the kid survives the whole time, and then it's like God of War 2. Now he's a preteen, and you got to take him on another journey.
That's what they're trying to do with all their games. They're doing it with We're doing it with the Last of Us. They're doing it with that. They did it with Uncharted at the end, where, you know, spoilers, whoever hasn't beat it. He does something with his kid. You know, they're trying to do. All their games are exactly the same. They have no personality whatsoever. They all feel like movies. That's all they feel like.
Well, movies have personality, and that's what Sony's doing.
Games.
While Sony is not making so many movies, they're taking their ideas and put them in the games, which is that's fine.
Maybe you know, I never really thought about that. Maybe that's what it is.
Well, but the fact of it is that you know what, you have iconic characters. They have to have some kind of identity to feel similar with. You know, you can't just completely overhaul them. Even with the reboot of Lara Croft, you felt they made it more story driven, but they gave the same. You had that still familiar feel of Lara Croft, like and that's what I'm not getting with that. But anyway, let me go on, because I know we got.
Wait. That's exactly what I got from the combat in that game. When it showed the combat, I go, "There's Kratos."
You think so?
Yeah.
It showed him kicking some ass, but you know what I'm saying?
Well, it might not be on the same scale.
No.
But you're talking about a different.
I can appreciate people saying that they have their own opinions on different games. They may not like certain games, and that's cool. But when you say that they have, well, I forgot the wording you used, but you said they didn't have an identity, or what did you say about PlayStation?
They don't have their own identity. They all feel the same. If you play PlayStation, like for example, Days Gone. Days Gone feels like it has some of Dead Rising with, you know, Last of Us. If you play Uncharted, it has the same formula. When you're playing something like God of War, it has like a Rise with a Last of Us feel. When you play Detroit, it feels like Heavenly Sword, exactly, and like Beyond. They don't have. They all feel in the
just like Mega said, they have that cinematic feel, yes, but they have their own stories.
But that's the thing. Not every game needs to have that story element. In order, keep your writers for The Last of Us, or for, you know what I'm saying, or for other big, or Detroit's, things like that. Don't have every damn game that you have that's a big title turn into a story. Look, that's just me. Look, we totally. Yeah, you know what I'm saying? That's just me, how I feel about it. I know others feel the same way, but this is what this is about. This is just a discussion. I'm not mad.
So, all right. So I get what you're saying. You feel that PlayStation games have hit this level of pretentiousness. Like everything has to be super serious, kind of. Like,
well, yeah, like
games aren't like
Ryan
you don't feel like they
Ryan
like it's more like everything has to be serious.
I would disagree with that though, to a certain extent, because Mac 2 isn't all that serious, but
well, yeah, but nobody cares about that too.
They sold it for $60.
Serious, you know, there's tons of games that they have that aren't that cinematic feel. You know, honestly, you could probably count about 10 that have that cinematic feel, or less than that for franchises alone.
Well, yeah, it's only like 4 games, right?
Yeah, I mean, it's not that many franchises.
Until Dawn was like that. The last
Until Dawn was nothing like that. Until Dawn was on
like Detroit. Was a movie. It was like playing Friday 13. That's exactly what it felt like.
Yeah, but that's like Uncharted. That doesn't feel like Last of Us. That's a different game.
No. I'm saying as far as the movie feel, all their games are mocap heavy. Mocap is not a technique that comes from the art of making video games. The art of making video games comes from the artist drawing it. When you mocap, that's not the artist creating it. That's a cheap way of doing games. So I'm not going to give a company credit for using something to their
ask a question.
Well, I gotta disagree with that, Hebot. I do.
Let me ask you something. No, I got a question for our guest.
Okay.
How do you feel about what was that game on the Xbox One that was about 6 hours that had a lot of movie in it?
What do you mean, Quantum Break?
Quantum Break. How'd you like that?
Quantum Break is doing things that nothing.
Play your games on fucking hard. Play your games on hard.
The gameplay on Quantum Break, you can't say nothing about that. It was great.
Come on, man.
Quantum Break.
Play your games on hard. Get a challenge.
Listen, I have a point to this.
I can't hear.
I can give you an answer.
It was mocap heavy.
Quantum Break doing stuff in the gameplay that was never done
The
before.
problem I have with fanboys. Fanboys like to do shit on anything else the other console has. I don't shit on Quantum Break. I don't shit on anything like that on Xbox. But when you get people on the show sometimes and they start talking about games as a whole on the other console being all the same or not feeling right, it just becomes monotonous. It becomes ridiculous. Fanboy mentality is stupid. It's stupid. Stop. Everybody needs to stop at that. Be real. Be real.
Yeah, I mean,
Quantum Break was something that was never done before. Meaning,
yeah, but Franz is right. That game was definitely mocap heavy, very mocap heavy.
Right. It was.
All the way down to the faces. You can't say it's because a game was mocap that it sucks. That don't make any sense.
if it was mocap, but it had gameplay, meaning the power, the gunplay element, the fact that you can turn to time and it rewinds right in front of you as you were playing. No game ever did that. And the fact that whenever you did something in the game, what your decisions were changed the outcome of how they played out in the actual full motion video. Because what they did was full motion video mixed with the game, which was graphics. They were not doing mocap story within the game using the same in-game assets.
I'm sorry, but there's a lot of mocap games on every console. You know,
Mocap is a shortcut.
But it has,
Hey, I'm talking. Stop. Okay, let me make this clear. Now, okay. I don't agree with what Hebot was saying with the mocap because I think there's a fantastic games mocap. But on the same, and I don't agree with Fonz when he says that God of War is great and shit like that. He wants a more compelling story with the action character. But you know what? That's his opinion. That's your opinion. But look, when we talk about like the fanboy shit, which
there's a difference between subjectivity and objectivity.
It is. But okay, so we're going to get into it. We're going to get into it. See, I was trying to play nice and wholesome, but we're going to get into it because now it's about to be set off. So I want to just say my last 3 games. There was a lot more games that I liked, but my last 3, of course, Cuphead. I've been waiting for Cuphead for a long time. There was nobody ever said anything about Wolfenstein. Wolfenstein looked dope as fuck. Looked dope as fuck. And then and then another game that we were talking about, like nobody didn't say anything about Crackdown. I know that All Day said he didn't like Crackdown, but there was so many other people said that they liked it.
I loved it. I thought it was great.
There was nobody else but All Day that said it was trash to him. But there was plenty more games. Like I was like Need for Speed. I like that. Madden looked sick. Whatever. But okay, let's get to the main topic. Okay. Now, as I stayed away from all that bullshit for a while, I mean, I was commenting and things like that, but it felt so good to just listen and absorb gaming and get back into that place of where I enjoy everything. I love it all. I do. Mm-hmm. I'm primarily all Xbox, but well, not all Xbox. I'm primarily Xbox, but I play it all. When I'm looking at PlayStation, I got excited, even though that show wasn't the greatest, but neither was Ubisoft. Ubisoft's show was it put me to sleep, but I woke back up and then I seen Wolfenstein and then I seen the Evil Within. Like, oh shit, this is dope. If you come out of E3 and there is not a game that you want and the whole show was trash to you, then you're not a fucking gamer to me.
That's right.
And so that because every conference, the Nintendo one, even the goddamn PC conference, they had games that I want to buy. I'm going to be a broke motherfucker by the end of this year. That's or whenever these games start coming out. But okay, frames per second game. I come in here and I'm looking, and here comes these fanboys, even from the people that claim that they are Xbox fans, and they're coming out and hating on the box. And it's not the fucking box fault, it's the devs. Because the big talk was about the 30 frames per second for Destiny 2. Now, I'm going to start with you, Fonzarelli. Why is this frames per second is an issue all of a sudden? Because this wasn't the big target at the beginning of this generation or last generation.
Res.
What is the big deal about 30 frames per second in your perspective? Give it to me.
My perspective, when I looked at this situation, we were getting a new box coming. Okay, we're getting something new. So you would think that because there was no boundaries, no limits, this thing was going to be a monster. Okay, and those are all quotes by the team at Xbox. I was thinking, and I'm a realistic person, pretty level-headed gamer. I knew coming into this thing it was going to be a $500 system, and for $500, I'm not going to get a miracle machine. But, to me, it seems like with this whole resolution push, I'm like, okay, what about instead of resolution, we work on frame rates? We work on something that actually feels better in a game.
And see, that to me, I think that's going to be the developer's choice. So
Yeah.
I agree with K Megan the fact that we got to keep the developers honest. We can't be just throwing stones because to me, and like from what I've seen, the X is a capable machine, very capable machine.
Very, very capable. And you're right. It is going to be up to the developers. And, that's why I say that instead of pointing fingers at each other, like all these fanboys are doing online, because you don't see me doing that on Twitter. I'm pointing fingers at the devs on Twitter. I'm talking about this stuff because, look, yes, when this whole story came out that Phil Spencer said most gamers don't want 60 frames per second, he didn't exactly say that, but, that's the bullshit stuff that happens.
But that's the kind of the truth, though. Most gamers don't want.
No, I'm getting at that. But it is the truth. And the reason is because most gamers are casuals. Casuals drive the market. So who are they going to listen to? The casuals. The casuals don't have the experience of 60 frames per second, or not enough to actually know that it is better in all games. Not just.
I have to disagree. I have to disagree with that.
In all games.
Nope, it's not. Nope, it's not.
Okay. So, I disagree to a certain extent too, because card games don't need to be 60 frames.
Okay, right. I get that. I'm talking about like my action adventure game, sports game.
Okay, all right, really. I know I'm going to let you keep talking, but I just want to ask you a question. Okay, when you played The Last of Us on the PlayStation 4, okay, did you play it on the level of the 30 frames or the 60 frames?
I played it on the 60 frames on the Pro.
Okay, now you do know that Digital Foundry damage controlled that shit and said that game played like shit, and the better experience was playing it at 30 frames because it didn't need to be at 60 frames.
They said it didn't need to be, but it felt better. Even though it had some dips, yes, it felt better at 60 frames to me. And that's all that matters.
Right. It's up to you. But you're making this a consensus with all the rest of these so-called gamers out here that wants to talk about frames per second all of a sudden. But yet nobody's bitching about Persona 5 because that's 30 frames per second.
Exactly.
Nobody's bitching. Hold on. Nobody's bitching about Crash Bandicoot, those remake games that's coming that were from the PlayStation 1, that's going to be 30 frames per second.
The only reason why people weren't talking about it before is because they knew that the Pro wasn't really capable of doing that, and they were hoping that the Xbox One X would be. And I think it is very capable of doing that to a certain degree. I think some games, of course, when I was going into this, I knew that, the Assassin's Creed Origins wasn't going to be 60 frames. It's an open world game. I knew it would be 30 frames. I'm realistic about this stuff.
So do you think that because it's do you think that the system is not capable of doing 4K 60? Is that your argument, or do you think it's the devs?
I think it's capable of 4K 60 with certain games, of course. I mean, look at Forza. I mean, it looks amazing. It's 4K 60. There's going to be games out there at 4K 60. I wholeheartedly agree with that. But I think with the devs, it being the devs' choice, I think we're going to see a lot of third-party developers going the way of the Pro, which is resolution first, everything else second. And that is a bad narrative to go along with because resolution isn't everything. And that's my point. When you try to hit that 4K mark, whether it be through checkerboarding or whatever it is, you are trying to strive for something that is going to bog the system down. The more pixels displayed on your screen, the more it has to work. So I'm saying,
well, that's what the whole 9 gigabytes of RAM is for.
No. I'm telling you, if you got 1080p on the game, and you have ambient occlusion, you have texture filtering, you have all this stuff that could help make a game look pretty. High shadows, shadow detail. To make a game look so damn pretty at 1080p, and it would blow your mind at 60 frames.
The thing is, that they argue with the narrative thing because they've done nobody want. You know what I mean? It's like,
I know.
900p, 1080p. You know, so now you're worrying about 180 pixels versus now you got 4K, which is 4 times the amount of 1080p. So
yeah, frame rate is a PC thing. And you know why it's a PC thing, but it's creeping its ugly head on consoles? It's because there's a different ratio when it comes to a mouse and keyboard and how you have to and how you play those games on a PC. See, the frames per second is for the benefit of a person playing on mouse and keyboard, not so much with somebody playing with a controller, because it was just like what Don said, that it's more for that lag indication. You know, for what you put it, you know, how you got your controls to make it feel good and smooth. And if you have a more powerful system, you'll feel that game plays smoother. It's just no different than when you play a backwards compatible game, and when or even a game that you will play like the PlayStation 2 on a PlayStation 4 game. The game might look like shit, but the game plays quick, it plays fast, and that has nothing to do. I mean, with the frames per second, that's just because the hardware is better and it can push the game. That's exactly what the X will do to all of these games.
Okay, can I add something to what you were saying?
Yeah, go ahead. No, I want to ask everybody on the panel. I just wanted to throw my 2 cents in it.
No problem.
Go ahead.
Well, to add to what Fonzarelli was saying, I think when you do 60 frames on the computer is always been, key because it can handle it right from the jump. And you write some of the things that you're saying as far as the precision with the mouse and the keyboard does play a factor. But it's also other variables, like a VGA monitor works very differently. It gives you a lot more better input lag than it does on a regular LCD LED screen TV. Now, as far as what you were saying with The Last of Us, when you asked Fonzarelli about the differences, the reason why Digital Foundry said that is because The Last of Us was originally built as a console game. So when you built the game for consoles and it runs in 30 frames because that's the more realistic frame rate that it can handle with the good quality graphics and game mechanics, that's why it feels better. But if you can play it and if it was built from scratch in 60 frames on the console or on a PC, it would actually play a lot smoother. It's not about the precision, it's just it has a better smoothness to it.
I hear you, but I disagree wholeheartedly with that statement because that is untrue. When you put that same game that was built on console at 30 frames on the PC and unlock the frame rates, I'm telling you right now, it feels better.
Yeah, I know. That's what I'm saying.
All you got to do is look at a game like Destiny 2. Watch that in 4K on the PC.
Right. And that's what
but the people on PC are going to be playing it with a mouse and keyboard at 142 frames per second. It's unlimited. It's unlimited. Yep. And let me make this point. If you really, this is why your theory is flawed, Fonz. It's this right here. If you try to play Project Cars on moving at 60 or 80 or 90 frames per second, it's almost fucking impossible. It's almost impossible. It's already hard as hell to play it on the fucking man. Try it. Look,
per second is always a good option for.
Look, it's a good option, but not for every game.
Somebody sold you some Wolf tickets, okay? And
look, okay. You act like I don't have. You act like I don't got a goddamn PC. I got one. I got a game rig. What do you think I'm talking off of?
I used to have a PC too. And what does everybody that has a PC do? What do they do, Mega, on any game? They turn down the graphics.
They play on it, but you know what? What do they primarily play their games on? On mouse and keyboard, not on controllers. You don't see these dudes playing controllers. Fighting games, sports games, shooters. Frames per second means something there. Before a story-driven game being at 60 frames per second doesn't make that game all that.
Yes, it does. It makes it all that. In my opinion, that's
that's your opinion. That's fine. I'm just saying. To me, I'm like, if the hardware is powerful enough, you will feel the difference of it. You will feel the difference. What do you think about this, Delilah?
Man, I think nothing of it because I feel like games, we grew up on games, right? And then this is the first time ever in our industry where we caring about stuff like this. What happened to the game just being fun and being enjoyable? Whether that's your experience versus someone else's experience. If you prefer 60, then he just saying he prefers 60. I don't. To me, it doesn't matter. As long as the game is fun, as long as I can, enjoy it without any limitations, then I'm cool.
You're
I don't know. Well, the thing that I don't think people really looked at is like, well, what's the easiest thing to achieve? Because you got to remember, this is all about price. People want miracals, but if you want this super duper ultimate, 4K 60 frames per second console, that's all well and good, but how much you trying to pay for it? Because if Microsoft is telling you, all right, we can't necessarily, we have to do a custom CPU. It's cheaper than getting Vega, obviously, right? So therefore, what we can do is up the GPU, which is a lot cheaper than giving you a beast ass CPU. Then that's what they're going to do. I mean, and the other thing people fail to realize is this is mid-gen. This isn't next-gen. Exactly. Next-gen will be your 60 frames per second on everything.
Well, they should have the option for it. They should have an option for that.
I give you that. If they do have the option for 1080p 60, if they can do that, then that's cool. But the thing is, will the devs do it? And that's who it's
all games back with.
No, but I just want to touch on one point. Mega, you brought this up, and I'm telling you right now, this whole thing is just my personal opinion on this whole. I'd rather have better frames. But coming into the Xbox One X live wires, I knew this thing was going to be what it was capable of and what it wasn't capable of when it comes to.
So you're basically saying that this thing cannot run 4K 60 frames per second.
No, it runs 4K 60 frames.
Well, not on everything.
On open world games, it's not going to run native 4K 60. There's no way on a big open world game.
Especially if PCs are struggling with that shit. Come on.
But isn't that serious for it to be? No. We've been playing games that open world games at 30 frames per second.
Look, I'm not even complaining about Anthem or Assassin's Creed not being 60. That was never the point. My point is, when I heard that Gears of War 4, which is a very linear game, was going to be at 30 frames, I was like, that's kind of weird,
in certain spots, the story and then the horde mode is 30.
I just don't think that. I think
but the multiplayer is 60.
Go back and just give you texture versus going back and fucking with the frame rate.
Yeah, I mean, to me, it's a very stupid argument, but it's one of these things to where you can, it's worth to talk about because there's a lot of people that's already invested and already thinking that the Xbox One X is already a flawed system. Right. And the problem of it is the damn developers. This is what they want to do. Look, don't go after the box. Go. You know what? The whole checkerboard thing. Look, the Pro and all that, and now that's going to be the same thing going on with certain games with the X. Look, Phil Spencer didn't get in the box and make these games himself. It's the developers. These people are under time restraints. It could be the publishers. We don't know, but that's what we need to get to the bottom of and figure out why these devs will not do that. And the biggest thing, hold on, let me say this last thing. But the biggest thing that needs to be addressed is why the hell that on the PC for Destiny, the frame rates is unlocked, unlimited. You can put it up as high as you want to, but on the consoles it's 30. That's fucking bullshit.
You're in the same old.
Well, yeah, I
think with Destiny, it's a completely different situation for them. I mean, I don't know whether it's their engine, et cetera, but we just have to wait and see. And I think if the fans, people on Twitter, whatnot, do enough pushback, then they'll unlock something. But I do think it's capable. But we have to see. And then, like I said, we should band together instead of trying to fight on what's 30 and what's 60, and hold the devs accountable for what we want to see on the system.
Yeah, I mean, I think I think people are jumping the gun a little bit too much with this whole 4K shit, with the checkerboard shit, because we don't even know what they're doing in order for it to have to be for checkerboard, if that's the case, right? Mm-hmm. Like, people just say, "Oh, well, it can't do 4K."
Well, the problem is they'll mention one or two games that run 60 frames, and everybody thinks every game's supposed to be like that.
Yeah, because what I'm trying to get at all day is like, yo, it'd be different if you talking about the Xbox One game that just getting a resolution bump, it can't hit 4K. That's one thing. But if you're telling me that Assassin's Creed getting 4K textures and is doing checkerboarding, I don't give a fuck. I got 4K textures.
Right.
Like, yo, you can fuck that resolution shit. Give me the goddamn.
I mean,
textures.
like I said, Delilah, did you play Assassin's Creed?
No, I didn't. That's the only one I didn't get a chance to touch.
I played it. It's dope. Like, I didn't give a fuck about the frames. The game looked good. I mean, would I prefer 60? Of course. Who wouldn't?
Right.
But
That's what I'm saying.
it didn't change. It didn't
This
change
is the
my
first time for me. Like, I mean, this is exactly what I'm saying. It's the first time ever. Like, we're caring about this. This even goes back to like even the sales argument. You don't see Audi putting out posts about BMW sales. Like, you don't see. I mean, it's the most interesting thing for me in this particular industry that we care about these little things instead of worrying about the games. Hold the developers. I'm big on that. I'm gonna start pushing it more. Just holding the developers accountable.
The only thing that upset me,
I agree.
Is when I was playing Gears of War with Dealer last year, right? And we were playing co-op on the campaign. And then I was just wondering, I was like, man, wait till that Scorpio come out. This is gonna be at 60 frames, right? You know, I mean, that's what I expect. You know what I mean? I wouldn't think that Gears of War.
But this is what I'm saying all day. If that's your expectation, let them know that. That's the thing. Like, you know, why bash some other fan? You know, that's the part I don't understand.
There's no bashing involved. No.
Yeah, but I don't think they're going. I think from what it looks like, I don't think any of those games that are on that list are getting frames per second boost. Probably textures.
Resolution.
They'll get a resolution, and they might get. And I know Gears and Killer Instinct, they'll get textures and shit, but they're not gonna go back and bump up the frames per second. So I don't see that.
They're not gonna get their larger fan base mad, you know, by giving them an advantage on some of these multiplayer games, especially if they boost.
Well, no, I didn't think they would. But that's why all those multiplayer games are, you know, pretty much locked at whatever it is.
Xbox One X, don't get it twisted, guys. I did not expect all these games to be 60. I nowhere said that, and I didn't believe that at all.
I'm still trying to figure out what Crackdown is, man.
My thing is this whole 4K push. That's my main gripe. This whole 60 frames thing just got out of hand.
And see, I completely understand.
I mean, that's what gamers push for.
I completely understand the 4K push.
PlayStation for that. That was the push.
The reason why I think the 4K push is necessary, and I haven't got a chance to really say this, is because if you look at the growth of 4K, and pretty soon when nobody be talking about 1080p, it'd be all 4K. All TVs are now 4K. You go to the Best Buy, that's the only thing you see. That's the only thing they're selling. Ain't nobody's selling 1080p TVs. Nobody.
Matter of fact, at Best Buy there is no 1080p's. I didn't see
but here's the thing though. Only 18% of Americans here, have.
That's fine for now, but you got to think about roadmaps. They look at roadmaps more than just one.
Here's the thing. Within 3 years, we're going to get new generation consoles. We're going to get new consoles in about
and 4K.
It'll still be 4K.
And 4K will only hit 39% by that time. It's projected at 39%.
Well, then maybe that they're going to be waiting and pushing these games.
So let me.
That might be the case.
My point is, in 3 years, I could see them pushing to 4K, but for right now, I say they should work on other things besides that. Like I said, you can have all your ultra settings at a 1080, and it'll look beautiful on your 1080p or your 4K.
Yep.
Look, what I've seen. Look, when you can watch a game on a 4K screen through another screen, and it looks better than anything that you've ever seen, they done their job.
But here's you know why it's I'm going to throw listen to this. The Xbox One X, when that comes out.
Look at this. Really good time.
Look, because there's a lot of bullshit being talking right now, and you guys don't understand what you're talking about.
Is that what it is?
That's what it is, Mega.
Finish your point.
The Xbox One X, when that comes out, and you're going to a game, let's take a multi-plat that is utilizing the Xbox One X to its full potential, and it's right beside the Pro. You're going to see where the resolution doesn't fucking matter. It's going to be the ambient occlusion. It's going to be the fucking texture filtering. It's going to be that high shadow detail that's going to get you. That resolution means shit. That's just
nobody did say. See, this is where
I don't care about the resolution, though.
Nobody did say about resolution. The more that you're talking about responsibility, the more that you
start. You taking a poop or something?
What the fuck you talking about? So I would advise you to back off
you. Look.
This is a stupid discussion. This discussion is
Hey,
dumb
hold
as
on,
fuck. Look, hold on, no. Let me make. No, I'm not going to get triggered. I'm just no.
Wait.
You know
The more Fonzarelli talks, the more
Yeah.
he's kind of agreeing with everybody else.
I know. That's what I'm saying. But the fact of it is,
No, all day. I've been saying that from the beginning of the show.
I know you have.
but you keep saying that we're not educated into this. Look, I never said that I'm a tech guy on that front. But what I'm saying is, you look. The only thing that really matters with the frames per second is fighters, racers, and shooters.
Sports.
Who's talking? Wait a minute.
We're talking in circles.
Who's talking about?
We are. Nobody.
I swear we got through this already.
Right now,
And VR. You're right. VR as well.
I'm talking about graphics right now.
Graphics.
I ain't even talking
Wait,
about.
I'm gonna tell you this is one thing too, because I know someone else was like talking about price and blah blah blah. Like I want someone to tell me, like, find me a VR capable machine that's $500. VR
Thank
capable.
you. Thank you. If anybody that bought the PlayStation VR and you're saying that the Xbox X is too much money, what?
You're talking about higher quality too, because the PlayStation does it, but it's not as high quality.
No, look, the PlayStation. Look, if you got the Pro, you will see some things, but the Pro is not as. Look, the Pro at this point in time right now is the most powerful system right now that's out to date. Right now, that's going to when the X comes, that's going to be the more powerful thing. That's a fact. There's no ands, ifs, or buts about it. It's going to be the most powerful console that we've ever seen. And look, I got a gaming PC that hits 1080p and that can hit high frame rates. Like I can play Titanfall 2 at like I think the last time I tried to play it at 160 fucking frames. It made no sense. Like this is stupid. I don't want to do this. Like,
well, you know what the other thing is? But came into the other thing. The other thing is that we haven't really talked about is what if it can do 60 frames per second, and what if the devs could do it? Would they?
That's the point. That's the point that I wanted to
would
get
they?
to.
Because
why the devs aren't doing this?
Would they really put out Assassin's Creed at 60 frames per second on the X and 30 on the Pro? Hell no, they're not going to do this.
And why not?
Would be heated.
Because there'd be an uproar about it. That's the only reason, though. That's a sad.
Who would be an uproar though, Delilah? Who would actually be
the loud minority? The loud minority. The loud minority.
They'd be mad. They would death threats. I will kill your children. You know how they do.
Okay, so right there, you're telling me. So that's where. Okay, now we're getting somewhere. So now you're telling me that the loudmouths, the non-gamers, the people that come out here that open their fucking mouth and then they say, "Oh, look at this, Forza looks like trash, but GT is great." Come on now, look. You're telling me that those people are the ones that are running gaming right now? These are the ones.
No, they're just a little loud minority.
Well, then we need
some of them in the media. I don't know why you acting like this is
journalism. Look, journalism.
That's fair.
Journalism. But see, that's the thing. Journalism is almost dead, guys. Gaming journalism is almost dead.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying? It's the content creators that has the voice. If you can get rid of the people that gets paid under the table by these certain individuals on all fronts, all sides, then you might get some people out there that can make some shit work. Because we need to talk about the problems in gaming more so than talking about this unnecessary bullshit that we've never cared about in consoles ever before.
Well, Mega, what you just said, like the differences between GT and Forza, right?
Right.
It goes back to what Fonzarelli was just stating to you. If you concentrate more on the graphic fidelity, right, and frame rates to be solid so that they will be precise at all times, right? It's more important than having it at a 4K resolution.
Yes.
You actually have a lower resolution.
Right, that's exactly right.
And that's what he's trying to allude to you about what he's saying. That's why you see the difference between Forza and GT. And GT,
no, I'm talking about the games themselves. What we should be talking about. Fuck the pretty graphics for a minute. We're talking about the content that's being made. We're talking about like a game that's given 700 cars, and then a game that's been in development for how many years, which is Gran Turismo, and you're only getting 100 and some cars, and you're gonna pay $60 for that.
Assets from the PS2 and PS3. That's what they're doing. That it's like covering up.
Hey, but guess what?
No.
That's why there's two different games to buy.
That's right. They're two very
I
different
look,
games.
man,
I
but
know that, but
but
listen what I'm saying. Hold on. This is what I'm saying on this, though. This is where we should be making the discussion instead of me saying,
Yeah.
well, PlayStation makes dog shit ass racers. Instead of go after the fucking developers or whoever, the publishers or
We
whoever.
demand better.
I
That's
don't,
what
I don't think that's what. I don't think that's what we're saying. We're just saying
No,
that.
that's what I'm saying. That's what we should be talking
That's
about.
what-
That's what we should be discussing.
Right, I get it, but that's PlayStation's fault too because they have to put out the money. If they're using the same old assets, they have to build a new engine. If you don't build a new engine, you're not going to get better.
And
But is it really? Is it really PlayStation's fault if people just go with
But
it?
people buy Gran Turismo all the time.
That's what I'm
like
saying.
millions.
Really, PlayStation's fault. I mean, if you know that you can slide, if you could make a game with less content and less graphical fidelity and all that other shit, why would you want to spend more money when you can gain more money by making a cheaper product?
Because a lot of people are complacent and they'll just buy
Yeah,
it.
because like yo, all day. How many people bought? Wait, what Gran Turismo are we on? It was like Gran Turismo seven-ish,
Uh-huh.
right? All right, so was Gran Turismo 6 good? Was Gran Turismo 5 good? What was the last really good out of this world? Gran Turismo.
4 was the last.
All right, so but people still bought 5, right?
Yeah.
And people still bought 6, right?
Yeah. So long as they keep
people
buying,
still
they'll
buying
keep
my game, and I'm not doing like. Look, man, if I work at a job and you gonna pay me even if I don't work, I don't give a fuck.
Right. I get your point. Yeah, that's true.
I'm just
Like
saying,
we said before, bro. We speak with our wallets, man.
That's what I'm saying. This is when we as content creators can get out there and make the conscious discussion talking about these situations instead of saying what company is doing this or what's inside this box. Because look, the PlayStation Pro is capable. You know what I'm saying? But if it's the publishers or if it's Sony themselves that says, I just want you to do things this way, and if people keep buying these games this way, and then it looks
They must like it. We don't need to change.
they must. But see, but hold on. This is why I disagree with that point, because earlier when I said, then why, if there's a more powerful system, why is it that people were going to bitch and complain about it being better on another console?
Because they don't have it.
But okay,
Right.
but
Jealousy.
it's jealousy. So therefore, then there's something deeper rooted in this situation that needs to be found out.
Well, the bottom line is this:
In the game journalism, people aren't doing it.
Instead of pointing fingers at each other and these journalists, man, we're never going to stop them. They're being stupid. Like, I can agree with all that shit, but it's the developers at the end of the day that make games. I just hope they give us the options to play the way we want to play these games often.
Hey, you know what? For the whole panel, I got something. I don't know if no one's gonna know this.
Well, let me just say this real quick.
Go ahead,
You got games like the Tomb Raider on PS4, PS4 Pro. They
All the
give
options.
in there. A ton of options. You can have great looking graphics, or you can have high frame rates. It's up to you how you want to play the game. That's the kind of stuff I want to see in the Xbox One X, because it's going to be more capable than the Pro. At the end of the day, it's a better.
That'll work better. That'll work better.
But who's in charge of making the decision? Because we should have an option.
Developers, bro.
The developers.
The developers.
So
But they did all that stuff to appease the remember, because that game wasn't on PlayStation, so
And
they did all that.
And here's
appease
another
the
thing too.
PlayStation.
People are shitting on Microsoft about these games, these third-party games. It ain't up to Microsoft to make these games. Microsoft doesn't dictate how developers make their games, and they're not in the business to do so. People shouldn't be pointing at Microsoft. They should be pointing at the developers.
Yeah, which is crazy because Microsoft, everybody complained about Microsoft dictating. So now that they don't, now they complain that they don't dictate. It's just like, what the fuck? Yeah. Like, yo, we hate Microsoft. They
really
dictate
never dictated the
everything.
way
We hate Microsoft, but now they don't dictate.
Oh, they
everything.
did. They did dictate for
Yeah,
previous
they used to
years.
for a long time.
Yeah.
Yeah,
But-
and that's what I'm most mad about is the fact that these people are getting all pissed off at Microsoft, and it's not them. It ain't them. This is the developers. You're mad? Get mad at Ubisoft.
Well, it was
That's
never
right.
them. It was never them with the original Xbox, Fonzarelli, because they got tools that they didn't use. They had cloud. they didn't use. They use it for Crimson Dragon. They use it for stuff like Raiden. Turn 10 used it for Forza. Okay,
That's exactly the point, though. It's like
Yeah.
they also had things like
I don't know why they don't choose it. Like the
That's RAM.
didn't they use everything that consoles were able to kind of like push out during PS3 and 360? Like I remember having Connect shit in games that was just like, all right, they just fucking connect shit in games, and then they had the 6-axis controller, and they just was like, all right, you're gonna fucking rotate your wrist and do this shit with the fucking PlayStation controller. But now they don't seem to do none of that shit no more. I don't even know if they use the goddamn touchpad anymore.
Yeah, they don't. They just want to build one game and ship it for everything. When we want things catered to us. So like for me personally, if I have the option to play a game sub 4K and it's at 60 frames, then give me that option. I don't want you just hold. Oh, it's got to be 4K 30. But really, you can do 2160 with 60 frames. I want that option.
Well,
Like seriously.
You want the button, the Halo button?
Toggle. I want that
jump
Halo
back
button.
and forth.
I want that toggle button.
At the end of the day, this machine for $500 is very, very capable. It's an awesome machine, and it's worth every penny. People that are doubting this machine are just being ridiculous. I mean,
right? They're not really in their
Anthem.
head, right?
Look at Anthem. Even look at Assassin's Creed. The way it looked. It's
it looks gorgeous.
Yeah, but the only problem with that is obviously the Assassin's Creed, Metro, what's the other game? Anthem. We know these games are being like Xbox enhanced. I guess that's like the full capableness of the console, but it's like, are other developers going to follow suit, or are we going to just get maybe only like 5 of those games a year, and then a bunch of bullshit ass resolution bumps?
I like Horizon Zero Dawn was a very beautiful game, but compare the draw distances and the textures to that of Assassin's Creed, no contest. And that's what people they're not thinking. They're just running around.
Well, yeah.
Hey, Vons, you got any news about that Destiny being 4K on Pro and not on Xbox One X?
Yeah.
4K on Pro. Come on.
Yeah, it is true. It's crazy.
No, that's real.
Yeah.
You said it.
No, because next gen is live right now talking about it. So
you said true 4K? Well, no, I think no. I think it's currently going to be 4K. The 4K whatever on. Pro, they're not talking about the X right now. So they don't have any plans.
They don't have plans for enhancement.
Yeah.
What?
Yeah, that's what they're saying. Yeah. Well, here's what they're saying. They're saying that they're gonna basically it's parity. Pro and the X will be parity with Destiny 2, and that's the problem. That's where we need to go after.
Wait. So Xbox One X is not gonna get it at all?
No,
they get it. They just get whatever
that's fine.
They have the Xbox.
Yeah,
that's fine.
I thought you said they weren't getting 4K. I'm about to get pissed off. I'm like, hold up.
Not fine. That's not fine though. They're not taking advantage of what the X has to offer.
They're not going to.
Exactly.
But this is going to be an ongoing theme with.
Oh yeah, they're gonna, like I told K Mega off air, that this is gonna be a trend. Once Activision and Bungie do it, everybody else.
My thing is, like, if you don't want them to do that shit, just don't buy that shit.
Did you hear about the 40 to 70 games that's getting the 1X patch pretty much? Yeah, they enhanced.
I heard.
40 to 70 games. I mean, that's a good.
I'll be playing that Witcher again.
Oh yeah, but I've been waiting for it. But now, what sucks is a lot of games I want to play. I'm kind of like, put the pause on it because I don't want to wait.
Oh no, I feel you want that too.
I got you too. I understand.
That's why I'm rocking on these goddamn indies right now. Yeah, playing these damn indies, bro.
Man, and you know what? Me and Fonz really talking about that too the other day. Is that I thought Microsoft was going to show at least one game that was going to get an upgraded patch in comparison. At least one game.
Oh, you mean like show how it looks?
Yeah,
yeah. You know why they're not going to do that all day? Because they're not going to shit on the Xbox One S.
Right.
Because once
you have to sell the console though. You have to.
But you shit on the Xbox One.
You're trying to sell the console with the
multi-platform. Aaron Greenberg said they're going to have specific commercials out for that, right? Just to show what the S can do, but they're not going to do side by side. They'll leave that up to Digital Foundry, but they're not going to do it themselves.
It's
going to be like it's going to be like chopping your own foot off, man. You're not going to do that shit.
Okay.
Their whole point was to show the multiplats better on the Xbox One X because that's been the narrative with the PlayStation from day one. that they had the better multiplayer. That was their whole narrative. And that they didn't need to do those marketing deals. That was a waste of money. And that's why Sony didn't show nothing but just Destiny and a few minutes of Call of Duty. That's what happened.
Speaking of marketing deals, guys, what was that about on the Sony conference where they didn't show all of their games?
I don't know. You know what? I think they were. I don't know. I think that I do for some weird reason. I think their whole conference was just. I think something went wrong. Something.
They feel like they didn't need to. They feel like they didn't need to.
But that means 2 years in a row.
Yeah, maybe they feel they didn't. Maybe they felt to hold it.
Like, look, we're in the lead. We we don't need to try on the regards to.
Well, the marketing deals, they don't need to.
You're right.
But
did you guys even a Livewire both conferences? Did you notice like there was no narration, there's no narrative during the gameplay? No one came out to like walk you through the game, like you just trailer.
Yeah, that was kind of odd.
Well, okay, but hold on. I got told from an insider
people didn't like it or what?
That they were there with one of the representatives that had a marketing deal with Sony, and that one of their games was not being shown, and they punched the TV pissed off because
that was Sucker Punch, man. Sucker Punch.
Was that Sucker Punch that did it anyway?
Yeah, I think they said they were going to hold that.
No.
That's you know what? That's not what it was. They said it wasn't working. There was something wrong with it. It wasn't working.
Oh, so
is that what that was?
That would have been a big thing if they showed the new.
That would have been great. I mean,
they said from what I heard, they said it
for me.
For some reason they couldn't get it to work. So maybe that's
hard is it to push play
because he just couldn't get it to work.
How hard is it to push play?
Well, I mean,
they probably want to play it on native hardware and whatever. I mean, you guys, these shows take a lot of time and effort, and sometimes they make these slices for these shows, and if something goes wrong, or they can't load the file, or they can't something going on in regards, like if it's an online only type title, you just never know all these things they run into.
Yeah, because you know what? They was probably going to do what they did with Horizon Zero Dawn, like do that on stage demo where they kind of
right. It was, exactly.
I mean, mistakes can happen, but you got to realize people paid their money to get in there too. So.
Right. No, I get that, but what I'm saying is PlayStation usually does that one. Like Microsoft did a on stage demo, but they only did one, and that was
I mean, all the press conferences are typically free. People don't pay to see those.
Getting back to what Mega said, though, I think the reason why they didn't show Battlefront 2 is because they showed a shit ton of it at EA.
Yeah, I get you on that. That's fatigue right there. You like really again? But they got a new marketing deal with FIFA.
Yeah,
they had. You know what I'm saying? There was. They were to show FIFA. We already seen that at EA.
They have a lot of marketing deals. I mean, it is what it is.
Show FIFA that long at all. They talk about Madden. They talk about. They talk more about NBA Live 18 more than they talk about.
When PlayStation had the better hardware, yes, they would have shown it. But now that they don't have the better hardware, it doesn't make sense to show it. Why would you?
Mega's right, but they should have shown it in a montage or something. All those.
Yeah, you're right about that.
But they came to E3 cocky. They came to E3 like saying, "We don't have to show you everything. This is what we got."
I mean, they got all the market. Think about this. Think about Sony for a second. They got all the marketing deals. They got the majority of the marketing deals. All the big names, the Destiny 2s, just name it. They got it likely. You know what I mean? And the ones that Microsoft was going to show, because I think Microsoft had Sony even got with Red Dead Redemption. So it's like they got all the deals. They don't have to.
Yeah, well, who's really called them out though? Nobody's called them out.
Nobody does. Nobody does.
So there's no reason for them to worry about it because nobody. Like if I know if I can come over to you and slap your food out your hand and nobody will say shit to me, then why the fuck I could do it every time and you just look at me and I'll be like, yeah, so what? What you gonna do about it? Nobody gonna help you? No. You know what I'm saying? That's what Sony's doing. Like nobody's saying shit. They just letting it go.
What games are coming out this year?
People are saying, they can do it because they have the leading platform. That's not the point.
I mean, but that's what's his name just said. That Ryan, whatever that dude,
Ryan McCaffrey
said, "Oh yeah, we'll have." They were like, "Well, what do you feel about Xbox having better looking games?" He was like, "I don't know about that. Marketing deals."
I'm not worried about that.
They don't have to. That's the thing. They don't have to. They're the media darling. They have all the marketing deals. You know what I mean? So it's like it's the competition in regards to that. They don't even have to try because it's like a given that this is what it is. We don't have to do anything. We already got your money. You know what I mean? It's like this is.
damage gaming if you
It does, and I feel like
it
gamers need to hold them accountable. Like that's
Right.
To change it, we have to be verbal. We have to vocalize. That's the whole point.
No, and I mean, this show was the E3 show was inexcusable. I mean,
now you do see
if this was a mark. This is the thing. Like, say what you want about pro Xbox guys, and ladies, but we're accessible to criticism because that's all you hear.
That's all we hear.
You hear criticism.
I've never seen anything like it ever. Like I went to, just to be fair, like I went to a couple PlayStation podcasts just to see what they was talking about, et cetera, et cetera. You don't get that much trolling. Like you don't get any trolling really on their chat. Like it's just clean. They can talk about whatever they want to. You don't have to worry about this person trying to troll, talk about X, Y, and Z. Where are you over here? I mean, if I was just checking out DirectX just to see what it, because my boy 100 was on this. I was like, let me check that out. Trolls all in the chat. I can't even talk about anything I really want to talk about without them talking about this and that and blah blah blah. It's like, okay, you want to hamper down on my experience all because I like Xbox?
Right. I don't understand why they even Xbox thing anyway.
Why you listening?
It's stupid anyway because most of these people that troll all of us, or even Fonzarelli, when he's making sense, they troll him. And
that makes no sense.
Yeah, it makes no sense. He's a PlayStation guy. I mean, all day, you know what I'm saying? All day stays in the cut, though.
Seriously, sometimes I get called an X-bot, and I'm like, what the fuck?
Yeah, and what's the crazy thing about it? All of us got a PlayStation 4.
I only said I like games. Why the fuck am I an Xbox?
Half of these people don't have a PlayStation game, sir. Xbox themselves. Like, we don't go after, you know what I'm saying? I want to say his name so bad, but I'm not, because I'm not going to be messy. But there's a certain YouTuber that talks a lot of shit, talks a lot about numbers and analytics, but do not have a goddamn Xbox. How can you tell? Look, no. When I sit there and I bought my son a PlayStation 4 and played on his games, go to my homeboy's house and play on the PlayStation 4, and then I got ridiculed. Well, you don't have a PlayStation 4. Yeah. You don't have a PlayStation 4 for yourself, so how can you talk about it? So when a person comes out here that's a YouTuber that talks about Xbox so goddamn much and they don't have one, where's that person's ridicule?
Right.
That shit pisses me off. Like, I got my PlayStation right here looking at the motherfucker. You know what I'm saying? I took the dust off the bitch and bought the Wipeout.
Nigga, stop while you ahead, bro. You might get caught up in these streets. Calm down.
Come on, you'll see me. Look. I wish they would. We got make our day laws out here, bro. We got gun permits too. Come on now. Come on out here and get some of that. Listen, I got my PlayStation right here in front of me. Right, I bought the Wipeout XL. Wipeout XL, love Wipeout XL, classic. Played the shit out of it. Played for like 3.5 hours this weekend. This past weekend, right before the Xbox experience, right before the E3 kicked off. And I'm like, you know what? You know what I'm saying? This is a great time to be a fucking gamer, right? But then on the other side, before even shit gets started, the hate is already there. I'm like, where's this coming from? I'm excited for the PlayStation conference. And then when I seen it, it was a dud. But you know what? There were still games that I wanted to get from it. Why could these people cannot open their mouths and say, look, that Xbox game is cool. Xbox game is cool.
Because they don't want to. It's just a matter of
why people don't call them out.
Look, man, look, some people look. I put it this way: some people don't want the X foot. I've heard multiple times PlayStation guys say, "I'd rather get the Xbox One S than the X." Not so somebody could give you the X, you still wouldn't take it? No. What do I need it for? My idea behind that is, you're just saying that because technically the PlayStation 4 is still stronger than the S. So you rather have the lower version of the Xbox.
You know what? The way they think,
the way some of them think is better.
I wouldn't be surprised at all.
That's crazy. I'm like, yo, that's nuts. So I'm like, yo. Nah, fuck those Jordans. Give me those
Jordache. Give me those Jordache.
Pay less sneakers.
The British Knights. Still make British Knights.
Another point I want to bring up about Microsoft is when Phil Spencer, he said this months ago, guys, when they were talking about the Xbox One X, He said that sparse rendering or checkerboard could and would be used by developers if they so choose. And now people forget all of a sudden. And they're like, oh my God, this was supposed to be true 4K.
Exactly.
Phil said to you guys.
I think that's narrative,
The
though.
whole thing started because of digital.
No, I think that's narrative.
That's where it all started.
Because there's a couple people that are running around here saying that, oh, well, Xbox said all games will be in 4K and all games will be 60
They did not
frames per
say
second.
that.
And I'm
They
like,
did not
hold
say
up,
that.
what the fuck? Like,
When did they say
no,
that?
but it's like they're trying to basically say that the Xbox community has been saying this, but the Xbox community has not been saying this. We've known for a long time this shit wasn't going to do everything 4K 60. We've known.
Yeah, it was there was fanboys out there that were saying it. I saw it.
They lied.
There was even Xbox people that
PCs that can't do 4K 60.
Yeah.
This it's so sickening, like, because you really all we want to do is game, right? Like all this discussion could be about what's these games have that's flawed. Like all day, there's things that he hates about almost every game, you know.
Yep.
And but you know what? But that's a proper discussion. He can have that. That's the discussion that we need to have, not about the frames per second or the resolution. You know what I'm saying? We've let so many bad games slide, and nobody addresses the shit about the developers. There was a great article that I need to make a video about because I only seen one article in the back, and it was from Game of Sutra, and it was talking about ageism and how the older developers are getting the boot for these younger developers. So if you got pissed off about Mass Effect Andromeda, then you blame those people that's kicked out the old guard and brought these young people in here.
Why would you kick out somebody with more experience? I don't get that.
Because of money.
Pay them as much.
Yeah,
That's
it's
crazy.
It's money.
Way too expensive, man.
I mean, it's like in
Hey,
any work
that
profession.
topic that Kid Megan just brought up, that's probably the reason why we keep on getting kuda. Nah.
Kuda cores.
No. That's probably the reason why we get
Shout out to D
recycled.
Batch.
We get recycled and cookie cutter games. That's
Exactly,
Probably,
because
that's the root of the problem right there.
But their A-list team is the one doing Anthem, and look at the difference. You see what I'm
Right. You see, but that
look
comes
at
with
Naughty Dog.
experience.
Yeah, they stick together. Look at CG Project Red. They're older guys and they've been together for a long time. You
Right.
can tell the quality of a game.
Hey
because
man, I
you
think
can
K
see
Megan
their
stroke
vision.
go with this, bro.
That's the real. That's
This is
the
the
real
first time
topic.
his light bulb ever came on his whole life. Right now.
I know. But that's I'm gonna make a video about that because it was a fantastic discussion. It was a fantastic article, but nobody addresses it. Nobody. That's a big fact
on this podcast tonight. Even though we disagreed on certain things, it's that we all think that we should be pointing fingers at developers and calling them out.
Right.
That's the one thing, and that is what we should be doing. I see it on Twitter day after day, fanboys pointing at each other, and it's wrong. People, let's point at the developers. Tweet the developers. Damn it! Don't tweet each other. Don't. I mean, it's bullshit. The fanboys still gotta die, man.
Developers.
I feel like the industry won't grow until it does, because that's how I feel. I mean, I like what I like. I like what I like. So why do I gotta be, ridiculed or called out?
That shit is ridiculous with that PC bullshit, man.
Blah, blah,
like
I like what I
PC
like.
guys constantly texting me about what do you think about the Xbox now? I'm like, yo, it is a console. I play on console. I like console. You should get a PC. I don't give a fuck about a PC. How many times must I tell you I don't give a fuck about PC?
Yeah,
there was an article that I don't know if
trying to tell me, yo, there's a real sexy dude over there. I fuck chicks, man. Only women. Nah, but this, you see this dude?
Okay, Donald Trump. We know you grab him. We know you grab him. Okay, Donald Trump. He about to go.
The thing is like you got to look at it this way. When the fanboys point fingers at each other's companies that they're down for or whatever, it makes no sense because at the end of the day, all companies lie. They all lie to us to some degree. They all bring us false promises. It happens on every side, guys. So stop with the bullshit with pointing fingers at each other. That it makes no sense. It's up to the gamers to speak out against it and go after the devs or speak with our wallets, you know.
And you look like OG John. Like, have you noticed every time that usually when you get the biggest trolls, they stay anonymous. They don't want to show or expose themselves they can get the ridicule back. They just want to come in there, be a troll, and then go somewhere else.
Yeah, that's so good.
That's why we don't have the substantive conversations like we should, because of the fact that they're all like, especially in the chat, like there's always a few people that come in there to get it all riled up instead of everybody coming together and saying, look, you know what, hey, I'm not a fan of the PlayStation 4, but you know what? Fuck it. You know what I'm saying? You like it, I can like it too, because you like it. We could be gaming together. Okay, another thing that's been slipped underneath the radar that nobody's talking about is how the hell with the Nintendo Switch, the weakest system that's out on these consoles right now, is going to share play, or however, what is that, where you can crossplay. You can crossplay with Xbox, with Minecraft, and PlayStation refuses. Tekken was Harada-san from Namco Bandai was the first one to try to ask about doing this with Tekken, and PlayStation said no. And so now instead of it seemed like these people congregate themselves. We see this big started right here. Well, we need to talk about frames per second, or we need to talk about how this is going on instead of talking about that. That's huge. That's destroying gaming, in my opinion, because that could stop the console war. Yeah, if PlayStation don't want that.
I was talking to somebody on Twitter.
Yeah.
And we were talking about that for a second. I was like, dude, I don't give a fuck. You can twist it and you can make it seem like it's Microsoft that want to add numbers to their players online. Nah, it's talking about evolving gaming, bro.
Yes.
That's what it's about. It's about pushing the needle forward, man. Somebody has to take a step in a new direction. That's how I feel about it. I don't feel like, they just want to use that for their agenda. Fuck all that. Nah. Microsoft is trying to push something new. What's wrong with that, bro?
They're trying to do.
Well, I mean, just like any other game, games are apps now. Like you can play it on your iPhone, people on Android. So I don't see.
Yeah, I don't see. Yeah, exactly. You know? Perfect example.
Yeah, well, it's like this as well. Like if you go into like this. Crossplay is kind of like the old school version of when I used to go over to the homeboy's house when I was a kid, and I was a Sega guy. I was a Sega Genesis kid, and so I would go over there and they would have the NES. The Super NES. Oh man, I don't want to play that. Mortal Kombat don't have the blood in it. Oh man, but it looked better. So what it was, instead of me not wanting to get that console, I wanted to whoop his ass on that. Saying because I got that Genesis, I want to whoop his ass on this Nintendo. And he had the same thing when he came over my house. And you know what happened after a couple of months of us playing, or a year or so, when Christmas came around, I got that NES and he got that Genesis, and so we both played. That's what, in my opinion, and tell me if I'm wrong, that PlayStation do not want. They don't. This is their cash cow, and if they give a little to anything, or if they have to pay to get dedicated servers or a better online network, they rather say fuck it. We'll just stick to our single player experiences and let everybody else crossplay.
That's what they should be concentrating on the most. But it almost seems like that's their narrative. Like they don't want to be sharing their wealth, I guess, is what you're. And
people consider Phil being weak because he says, look, we need Sony. You know what? If it wasn't for Sony kicking Xbox ass this gen, we wouldn't have the things that we have now. We wouldn't even have an Xbox One X.
Competition.
You know what I'm saying? Sony could curb stomp the shit out of Xbox, and really in any other company would have been done, would have been finished. If this was like Sega, done. No other company could recover like Xbox did. And instead of giving them credit for saying, look, they're turning it around, they're killing them.
That's money to come back. Sega did it. Let's be fair.
Yeah. So
that was different, but you're right.
Yeah. So anyway, it's 10 o'clock, man. I apologize for the beginning of the show, man. Damn it. I guess we're gonna have to put OBS on timeout for a little bit, because I still want to keep my OBS popping off. But
it sounds great though right now, dude. It's good, man.
Well, it would sound great if people was looking at the, you know what I'm saying, because I had a special gameplay. The gameplay was looking hot. People was enjoying the gameplay.
I must admit the gameplay did look quite crisp.
Thank you. And you would have seen that Dragon Ball Z. You would have looked. That shit would have been flawless. But anyway,
You guys gotta,
put it on the timeout.
I just want to say this: at E3, they had all these like in Microsoft booth, like every screen was a 4K screen, and they had all like they had the SDKs, Xbox One X, and like for the games that were also on PC, they had the PC set up on each one of the screens, and every game just looked so phenomenal.
Yeah, I must say, Mixer was popping this week.
Mixer was amazing.
Hey, Mixer was awesome for the Microsoft show.
Hey,
Oh.
yeah. Hey,
Mixer
one
was
thing.
good for every show,
Hey,
every conference.
Did y'all see that tweet that Greg Miller had posted on his Twitter like a few days ago?
Yeah, I see
What do you
that.
say?
You seen it? Okay,
Yeah,
you seen it for real? For real?
Yeah, I saw it. Yeah, I saw it. Yeah, because we was doing it live when they were talking about it.
Tell me that wasn't, bro. That was some ballsy shit, bro.
Yeah, that was.
What did he say? What did he say?
He basically he was dissing Mixer. He was saying nobody cared. Basically, I forget word for word.
No, he said Mixer, just stop.
Yeah.
No, he said Mixer, it's never gonna happen. Just
yeah, it's never gonna happen. Don't stop. Yeah, he
I
just
was like,
dissing
what,
Mixer.
bro?
Yeah.
That's some hating for real. That's a
You have
hating for real.
Don't
Like, how can you hurt your brand like that?
That's
Like,
what
I don't
I'm
get.
saying.
Like, come on, man.
Yeah, that's the shit that I'm talking about. Journalism gaming journalism is dead. It's gone.
I think it's gonna take a new set of people to bring it back.
It is.
I think so too.
We need people that really give a fuck about gaming. You know what I'm saying? Not about who's on top, who's on bottom. For the first time in my entire life, as I've been a gamer for a long time, I've never had longer discussions or even arguments with people about fucking numbers. I never cared about how many fucking Sega Genesis games sold. I was playing Eternal Champion, and that's all I knew that I wanted to play was that, and then play motherfucking all these other games, Bill Walsh, football, Madden, you know what I'm saying, NHL 94, all these dope ass games. I wouldn't care about what the sales.
Only reason why you care is because social media exists. So
yeah, and social media is a part of the cancer, but
now it is what it is. It's here, but you know, so I feel like it's still gonna take us to be conscious about what we're talking about in order to control some of it. Because it's
who the hell listens?
It's discouraging the developers. Discouraging developers like that. That's what I feel. Developers are now like timid and scared and whatnot what they release and what's talked about.
You're welcome, OG. He says great show, Rafiki. I don't mind being called the old man Rafiki, but I was breaking when I was old lady feel in the air. That shit was funny.
Man, your mic back all day. Good lord.
Oh, that's about to sleep.
Oh.
I'm not asleep.
Oh, damn! He got hungry again. He was over there licking on the damn. Must have had some food and crumbs on his mic.
Hey, Mega, if could I say something just for a couple of minutes here?
Sure, sir. Yeah, go ahead.
Okay, it's to address the fanboy issue and stuff. Basically, I just wanted to say that, you know, in order to stop the devs from shipping or publishers from forcing devs shipping broken.
All right, we're done, guys. Good night. No, I'm just playing. Keep going.
You know, in order to stop the devs from doing this kind of shit to us, you know, and forcing us to take parity and all this, we can't be pointing fingers at each other, guys. Seriously. We got our own shady dealings in our own backyards we got to deal with. Stop pointing at the other guys, you know, companies or devs or whatever the case may be. You know, look at your own shit too, because these companies are all selling us wolf tickets. These developers are doing the same. We need to start pointing fingers where they're due, not each other's, guys. Yeah, that's all.
Okay, no, I definitely respect that. Look, I've been critical of Microsoft. I've been critical, but the fact of it is that when people call me a fanboy because I stand up for Microsoft, you know, and I point out the critical things that about Sony, they all think that that everything that I say about everything Microsoft has got to be positive. No, I'm defending gaming in the process. Look, I know Xbox has made plenty of blunders. I've seen, you could go to listen.
I'll take a bullet for Phil. That is a fact.
No, I ain't taking a bullet for Phil, but I would do an interview with Phil. You know what I'm saying? But no, that was going to be my last point before we get out of here. Was just to say, I'm wondering who the hell is listening to these trolls more than they're listening to people that has common sense. Why the people ain't listening to Fonzarelli or listening to anybody on this panel? Because I mean, even when Hebot goes on left and he gets into his rage, but for the most part, Hebot's an intelligent guy. He knows what he's talking about. He's got deep, rich history. You know what I'm saying? All day. I don't know. But you know, so the fact of it is that there's plenty of YouTubers out there that to be listened to that cares about gaming and wants something more to come out of this than just somebody gets subs. I care about gaming. I want us all to fucking game. And that's what we all should be caring about and be motivated for. So we're going to get ready to sign out. We're going to move it on to our guests. Go ahead, man. Give your sign out. Say, tell them where they can find you and all of that good stuff. Hebot? Yes.
Okay, bye.
Hey.
Okay. All right. Damn. So we're going to move on down the line. Yeah, we're going to move on down the line.
Nah, he's back. He's back.
Oh, he's back? Oh, okay. Hey, man, go ahead and do your sign outs, man. Tell everybody where they can find you at.
I wasn't sure if you heard me, though. Sorry.
Oh, no, I didn't hear you. Sorry.
Oh, thanks a lot, man, for having me on. Guys, thanks for, having me as a guest as well.
No doubt.
It's been fun, like always.
Well, boot your ass again all day.
It was nice to speak to Delilah for the first time on a podcast.
Hey, it's nice speaking to you too,
And
man.
Fonzarelli too. You know, even though we disagree or not, it's always good. That's what makes gaming unique and good anyway. To have good discussion, which is cool. And again, Mega, thanks for inviting me. You guys can find me on my YouTube channel. I don't really do a lot of content, but when I try to do my content, try to make it as good as possible or as informative and educational. So I'm at Hebot. Just with a capital H and capital B, and on Twitter I'm Most Powerful Gamer, and on Xbox Live I'm Hebot 8. Thanks again, K Mega, for having me on. I appreciate it.
No doubt, man, no doubt. I had to get good people. I wish I had you and Rain on here as well, but I usually get griped out when I have too many people. So by the ladies,
right? Thanks.
But So Rain 84 will definitely be having you on here pretty soon. And then there's other people that I've talked to that I'm going to have on the show as well. Fonzarelli, you understand?
Hey, you can find me on Twitter or right here on YouTube at Everything According to Me or J Fonzarelli. And that's it.
Damn, that was quick. Okay, but anyway, they seen your promotions though. People did see them. I think they heard those in the intro, but then they just only heard me. I don't know why, but anyway, I gotta stop drilling on that shit. Donald Trump, Livewire.
Yeah. Yo, you can check out my big.
Hold on, wait a minute. Who asked you to be on this show anyway? How did you get on this goddamn show?
I was about to ask you the same thing, K-Mac.
How did you get on this podcast?
Listen, man.
What happened?
You don't got to worry about all that.
How did you slide up in here like that? Why do they wait for you?
Just know that I'm here. Listen, man. Everywhere I go, I do bigly things. So it's your boy Livewire, the wild one. Come check out my channel. I always put up new shit. And that's what's it.
Nice. No doubt. All day can't make it can't say it as milky and sexy as I can, no doubt. Anyway, what's up with you? All day digital, the most petty. What's going on?
It's always good to look in the mirror, do a podcast of yourself, that is a fact. But it was a good show, man. You can find me on Twitter, what I'm saying? K-Mega405 doing it live. And no doubt. Yeah, that is a straight fact. All day digital _ in between. Good show. Sorry I was late, but yeah.
I don't. You know what? I don't even know what to say on that shit, man. Hey, look.
You know what I'm saying? I don't know what to say on that shit. You know what I'm
saying? Thank you guys so much for kicking it with us tonight, man. And it's good to be back.
The best box. That's a straight fact.
Well, you can find me Delilah HD.
You know what? I'm gonna get cussed out after the show. I am so sorry. Delilah, go ahead.
You can get sorry from both of them. I'm sorry, Delilah.
It's all good. No, but in all seriousness, you can find me on Twitter, doll_HD. Yeah, I come with it. That's it.
Damn, I know I look like an asshole. I mean, I'm so sorry. And you know what? I got to start doing some pleading now. I mean, you got to give it up for Delilah because she came onto the show after
Yeah, I'm
having a
super
long flight. And
Hey, we was in line. I was like, "You doing the show on Friday?" She was like, "Yep." And I was like, "God damn, she got some more. She got some more."
she's a beast, man. She's a beast. So thank you so much. And I apologize. All day had me confused, man. I didn't know if I was, he just had me talking, listening, and I don't know.
No,
Anyway,
no big deal.
I don't know what happened.
you know.
Oh, wait,
Oh,
whenever he
man.
starts stuttering.
All right, man. Well, thank you guys, man. We about to get the hell out of here. It's Friday night.
Yeah.
You know what? I'm thinking about streaming a game. I'm going to think about streaming this. You know what? I am going to stream it. This game called Last Night or Night Shift or some shit like that. I don't know. It's an interactive
Yeah, late shift or something.
Late Shift. That game is dope. But I'm going to start it over so you guys can interact with me and you'll see me trying to run.
Wait,
like
is that
a
the game? Is that the game that like a movie or something?
Yeah, that game is cool as shit. I was digging it. I'm like, and then I was like, okay, so I'm going to start it over. So I'm definitely going to be streaming that tonight. Thank you so much, man. As always, man, have a good, blessed night. Be safe. Have a good weekend. See you on BGST and on the next podcast. Peace.
Hey,